Historical background of Indian Constitution. There are events that took place in British India that influenced our constitution and polity. So do not learn the history of constitution without knowing the political and historical events that took place in and around modern India. British came to India for trade in 1600s in the form of East India Company under the charter granted by Queen Elizabeth I, which means East India Company will have the exclusive trade rights in India. India was under Mughal administration when British came for trade, and they got exclusive trading rights and started building factories. When Mughal Empire weakened, the British misused the trade privileges and unauthorizedly fortified Calcutta. This angered Sirajud-Dowla, the Nawab of Calcutta, and arrested the employees of East India Company, which resulted in Battle of Plassey 1757. In this battle, the British has won. Therefore, victory in Battle of Plassey turned British East India Company from a mere trading company to a territorial and military power. Later, the Battle of Buxar took place in 1764. In this battle also, the British has won and got the Diwani rights over Bengal, Bihar and Odisha through the Treaty of Allahabad 1765. Diwani rights means the collection of revenue rights. With the acquisition of Diwani rights, the corruption became rampant among the officials, and also simultaneously at that time Bengal famine took place in 1770. As a result, the company became bankrupt with no revenues. Therefore, the company approached British government for help, and as a result, British Parliament passed Regulating Act 1773 to regulate the activities of East India Company in India. As per the Act, the Governor of Bengal was designated as Governor General of Bengal. Here you have to remember that there are three presidencies of British under three governors: Bengal, Bombay and Madras. And with the Governor General of Bengal, the governors of Bombay and Madras were made subordinate to him. An executive council was created with 4 members, and Governor General has to work according to the majority opinion of Executive Council. The Act also provided for the establishment of Supreme Court at Calcutta with a Chief Justice and 3 judges. The jurisdiction was extended to all the British subjects residing in Bengal, Bihar and Odisha, and also the legislations passed by the Governor General has to be accepted by the Supreme Court, which resulted in conflicts. The servants of the company are prohibited from accepting any kind of presents or bribes. This is because the servants are becoming rich and the company is becoming bankrupt due to the corruption. This act could not able to stop the severe financial crisis of the company. Alongside, the company got defeated in First Anglo-Maratha War and demanded a stronger military command. As a result, the Pitt's India Act 1784, also known as East India Company Act, was passed. And this act is meant to correct the defects that occurred that happened in the Regulating Act 1773. The act resulted in dual control of British possessions in India by the British government and company, and the final authority resting with the government. The Court of Directors to look after the commercial activities. So, the Court of Directors are meant for commercial activities, whereas the control, that is the military and civil control, is under British government. The Governor General was given the power of veto and enhanced his power. The Act established British Crown authority in civil and military administration in Indian territories. Therefore, this act was significant because the word British possessions in India was used, and the British government has got the supreme control over the company's affairs and its administration in India. So slowly the company is getting into the hands of British government, also India. In 1800, the events that took place were Industrial Revolution, where high demand of raw materials and a stronger market for finished goods is needed. The three councils in presidencies, that is Bombay, Madras, Calcutta, has issued large number of legislations, and where everyone is issuing legislations, they are resulting in conflicts. Therefore, a stronger demand or the need for centralization in administration is made essential, is required essentially, and the legislation, especially in matters of legislation, a central administration is needed. That resulted in Charter Acts. The Charter Acts are made for every 20 years, and the first one is 1813, where only the renewal has to taken place, and the important one is Charter Act 1833, and this act made Governor General of Bengal to Governor General of India. That is, the legislative powers of Bombay and Madras were deprived, and only the Bengal can make legislations. That is, only Governor General of India can make legislations. The act abolished companies' monopoly in commercial activity and let other companies to trade in India. This is because of the Industrial Revolution. And the act made Indians for the first time to participate in open competition, where Macaulay Committee, the Committee on Indian Civil Service, was appointed in 1854. With the expiry of Charter Acts, the Charter period, the Charter Act of 1853 was passed for the renewal of the Charter for another 20 years. This was the last series of Charter Acts, and it separated the legislative and executive functions of the Governor General's Council. For legislations, Governor General Legislative Council was established with 6 new legislative councillors. The company's rule was extended to an unlimited period and shows that British do not want to leave India. The open competition for civil servants was introduced and has given local representation to Indians in Indian Legislative Council. Of the 6 new legislative members, 4 were appointed by the local governments of Madras, Bombay, Bengal and Agra. As the open competition system of selection and recruitment of civil servants was introduced, Macaulay Committee was appointed, the Committee on Indian Civil Services. Aggrieved against British administration and their exploitative policies, the Sepoy Mutiny, also known as First War of Independence 1857, took place. As a result, after crushing the revolt and restructuring or restricting the Mughal emperor to a mere pensioner, the British Parliament passed Government of India Act 1858. As per this act, the British took over the control of India and to govern in the name of Her Majesty. The name of Governor General was changed to Viceroy with the direct representation of British Crown in India. The act ended the double government by a Board of Control and Court of Directors. It created new office, Secretary of State for India, vested with complete authority and control over Indian administration. To assist the Secretary, a 15-member Council of India was established. The Council Acts and other acts that influenced in making of Constitution of India will be done in the next video. This is all about the history of Indian Constitution up to the Government of India Act 1858. In the next video, we will learn the Indian Councils Act